Interesting topic. We know the energy and food crisis in the European Union has caused high inflation in Europe, plus other economic impacts of the Ukraine war right now. It make the European economy difficult, especially in winters right now. So in these conditions, how do companies, especially in the European Union, manage their cash flow and cash flow amidst a weak currency and with high inflation right now?
It's a very good question. And I think the problems that Europe is facing, the ones you just outlined now, are actually problems that are being faced elsewhere in the world. Many economies, including those here in Southeast Asia, are facing high inflation rates and increasing interest rates as well. The greenback is, of course, extremely strong everywhere. And I think a lot of businesses, not just European ones, will currently look at the economic outlook in the near term, and they'll be seeing quite strong headwinds coming their way, and they're going to want to hold on to their money for a while. To the extent they are looking to invest and grow businesses, they will look to grow and invest them in parts of the world where there is, good economic performance. And I think for that, you actually would look to places like here in Southeast Asia.
Okay, well, currently there are many workers' demonstrations taking place in a number of countries in Europe, demanding an increase in the wages. What really happened?
Well, the same as you will see several times in the past history as well. When you're in an environment with increasing interest rates, with high inflation, wages are getting squeezed, workers themselves really want to do better for themselves. They want to have more money in their pocket. They want to make up for what they see as lost disposable income. They help them pay their rent, pay their energy bills, etc. So, you're seeing a lot of workers throughout Europe and indeed in other places in the world saying to their employers, give us more money. And if you don't give us more money, we're probably going to work to rule, or we're going to go on strike until we get some more money in our pockets. And that's just an unusual thing to happen. It's partly human nature. If your expenses are going up, but your income is stagnant or falling even, especially in real terms, you're going to want to try and make that up somehow.
Oh, well, with that conditions, how do business people or business sectors deal with workers' demands or needs? Is there any discussions going on?
Well, there are certainly high discussions going on, and we've seen it in several sectors within Europe. I think Air France came to a deal recently with their pilots, because businesses need to keep on operating. It's in no one's interest to have workers on strike. When workers are on strike, they're not getting paid, businesses aren't operating, they're not getting revenue through the door either. So there's always a compromise to be had, and it all depends on how much the unions and the workers are seeking and how much the companies can afford. Accommodations will need to be made on both sides. It's like in any negotiation. You need to reach an arrangement which is a win-win for both sides rather than a lose-lose.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a not good condition, it's struggles conditions, with high interest rate and high inflations, Until October 2022, the European Union continued to record high inflation, which caused economic growth in the regions to slow. What are the import products in the regions that feel the highest price at the consumer level?
Well, a lot of it, of course, is coming down to energy supplies at the moment. The cost of energy in Europe is extremely high throughout the continent, particularly high in places like the United Kingdom as well. So that's one of the biggest drivers of it. I think food prices as well. Unfortunately, of course, if fuel costs are going up, that means the cost of everything is going up. So the cost of manufacturing and for any good increases. The cost of transporting it increases at the same time. But there is a particular issue around food security issues as well. A lot of this, of course, is being driven by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And a lot of that, of course, is not just happening in Europe, the effect of it, but it's happening across the globe.
I see. Now, will the challenging conditions in the European Union depress consumer demands and export performance in the South Asia regions right now?
Well, again, it's a natural thing. When you see interest rates going up, one of the things that put up interest rates for is to try and depress demand from the consumers. Inflation going up, people got less money to spend. You are going to see depressed demand. Normally, it will happen first on high-end goods, on luxury goods, so cars and luxury handbags, and consumer goods like fridges, freezers, television sets, etc. And then it might then start to permeate into other areas as well. Now, a lot of the exports coming out from Southeast Asia to Europe are in areas like electronic goods, for instance, but it's also a lot of it is in foodstuffs. So the exports on the food side of life probably less impacted It's the more high end, the sort of items where you've got a choice. I don't necessarily need a new TV set today. I can wait a few months.